Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're watching this, it's because you're diving into Dragon Age The Veilguard and you want to know, the full cast of characters. I'm going to try to leave out any and all story spoilers, but just naming them may in itself spoil something for you. I guess if you're like, no, I don't want to know, then this isn't the video for you. But if you're like, hey, I'm kind of early in the game and I want to know who I want to start building my relationships with, who I want to build my bond, with, and this will be a little bit of a guide for you because if you're like me, then a lot of times you worry that maybe later down the line you're going to meet a character that you're really going to vibe with, and you don't want to like start down like a romance path or something like that with a different character early on and block yourself out to experiencing that connection with somebody down the road. So here we go. First and foremost, we have Bolera, and there are 7 companions in total. So Bolera here, she has sort of she's like your nerdy girl, right? She's got your book smarts. She likes to tinker with things and fix things. She's fascinated by magic, and she has a number of skills here. She can be support. All companions have support capabilities. I went down the galvanized tier tree with her. And as I continue to level her up, this is sort of like a black hole, kind of pulls things in, does big pulsing energy. It really synergizes quite well with my character, who's a necromancer and does a lot of AoE stuff. So I can lock down an area with my abilities, and then she can throw in the black hole and kind of suck things in even further. And they're kind of stuck in my pool of blighted energy, which is great. So anyways, that's her. She does a lot of ranged attacks as well with bow and arrow. So that's who she is. She's really peppy, really upbeat. She's very morally good. So when you make kind of morally good choices, she gets down with that. And when you're very sympathetic towards other people, she likes that and responds well to that as well. So that is Bolera. Next up, we have Davin. He's a warden. So he's a warrior type, with sword and shield, sort of like a knight kind of a style fighter. And I enjoy having him in my party as well. He has a pet griffin, and the griffin can fight alongside you. Asan is the name of the griffin, and he will come down out of the sky, and you can kind of go in down that route and have the griffin be really involved with the fighting. You've got death from above this tree too. I chose to go a different direction with a heroic strike. I needed him to be a little bit more like single target damage just for the way that I've got my character kitted out. So you've got a lot of options there. And then, so just about his character, he's a really stand up, by the book, kind of a soldier type, he kind of fits that stereotype pretty well. Next up, we have Emer. He's a professor, necromancer, and he's a really lively character. He's not like stern like you might expect a professor to be. He's much more, down to earth. He likes to have in-depth, intelligent conversations. He responds really well, obviously, if you're a necromancer, and that's kind of the background that you come from. But so he has a lot of necromantic abilities. I went down this route with him called Final Rites. He summons an envoy of dead who explode. That's pretty cool, like exploding, because it works really well when I'm using like Bolera to pull things in, and then I can have him throw in the exploding dead guys too. So it's all about area denial. He's really fun. I like him quite a bit. Next up, we have Harding. She's our dwarf, and she is, range damage. She uses the bow and arrow. She's also very, very morally good. Most people in this game are. It's a very lighthearted game. Most RPGs kind of allow you to have a little bit more freedom between good and evil. There's really no way to be bad. You can just be sort of short and abrasive at worst. So Harding, very morally good, wants to do the right thing. She responds well when you are very sympathetic towards people, when you're not short with them, when you're not brash. And for her abilities, I went down with like seismic shot. I like a bit of a hybrid between single target damage, but also a little bit of, it's got a wider radius. You can hit multiple people with it. You could go just with shred. You're like trying to debuff the big guy, you know what I mean? And that's what that's for. And then you've got adrenaline rush, which is more about support enhancing, and that's kind of who she is. Next up, we have Lacanus. He's real cool. He talks like this. He kind of a Prince Caspian vibe to him. He's an assassin type. He is sort of the split personality where he's trying to do what's best for his people. He's used to, cloak and dagger means of accomplishing what's best for the people of his city. And that's really what primarily drives him. So if you can kind of tap into that, help the people of his city as well, then that's going to serve you well if you're trying to build up a good reputation and relationship with him. And you'll learn more about his story, and I don't want to spoil any of that for you. But definitely an assassin type. Single target damage is, I think, the best way to play him. But yeah, you've got a lot of options with him as well. Next up, we have Nev, who's one of your starting companions. Most of you are probably familiar at least with her nominally. But yeah, she's also a mage and a scholar, and she is very highly motivated by the faction that she belongs to and the people of her city. And if you want to build a great reputation with her, then obviously doing quests in that city, in Rathas, and helping those people out, and choosing to spend your time with her there will definitely improve your reputation with her. And again, she's a mage. She uses ice magic, so a lot of area denial, AoE spells that freeze and shatter, stuff like that. So that's Nev. And finally, we have our dragon hunter, Tosh. She has big muscles and short words. She doesn't talk much. She likes to hit things, and she likes booze. So that's Tosh. And she is sort of a barbarian type. She's very blunt, and she will also respond well to you being blunt and short with other people as well. She prefers a head-on approach, so if you ever have the option to be maybe stealthy with something, or if you're going to take it head-on, or if you have dialogue options that sort of show the fist, like trying to be intimidating, I'm trying to force to get my will, she responds really well to that. But yeah, she's your typical barbarian type, to the letter. I haven't used her a ton in combat yet, just because I'm busy leveling up my reputation with other people. But there's a lot of fire and fury involved. A lot of fire and fury. So as you can see there, fire breath is one of the abilities that you can go down that tree too. Anyways, those are your characters. So if you're trying to figure out who you want to who do you want to save yourself for? Yeah, it sounds so funny. It sounds like your pastor. But anyways, if you're trying to figure out who you want to make a solid reputation with, a solid relationship with, these are your options. So now consider yourself informed. But anyways, hope you found this helpful. If you did, feel free to leave a like on the video, as that's the best free way to support the content right here on YouTube. And I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.